What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Wow. Wow, guys. Wow, guys. Wow, guys. Wow, guys. It is Hump Day, Trump Day. Every day is Trump Day. Shady Groove, welcome to the show.
Absolutely. Every single day is Trump Day, and Trump Day is getting better every day.
Oh, my gosh. And by the way, guys, I just received, Mike Hess sent me this video. I'm going to play it right now because let me just let you guys watch it, guys. I'm so happy to live in Florida. Check it out.
But what I'm most excited about is an announcement that we're going to make, that we're making now, which is that the Florida Department of Health, in partnership with the governor, is going to be working to end all vaccine mandates in Florida law.
All
of them. All of them. All of them. Every last one of them. Yeah. Every last one of them. All of them. Every last one of them. Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery. Okay? Who am I as a government or anyone else, or who am I as a man standing here now to tell you what you should put in your body? Who am I?
Wow.
To tell you what your child should put in your body? I don't have that right. Your body is a gift from God. What you put into your body, is because of your relationship with your body and your God. I don't have that right. Government does not have that right. They want you to believe they have that right. And unfortunately, they've been successful.
Wow. People are saying they couldn't see video. Is that just one person? We got video going, right?
I was seeing it just like it looked like perfectly clear to me, sir.
Gotcha. And I'm going live on here.
5-5.
There we go. Yeah, we're 5-5. It was just you. Okay. It's you. And you're blind, Mark. Krem, how you doing? Welcome to the show. That is huge news right here. In case I just started Facebook a little late because I forgot to hit the button.
Okay.
But what we're covering right now is the what is he? Is he the Attorney General, or what is he?
Also,
the health inspector, a health guy in Florida, LaDepo, is saying that they are going to get rid of all vaccine schedules, not just COVID, all vaccines from Florida. Woo!
Yeah.
I got chills right now.
I mean, you're talking about like what was not on our radar to be hearing about. Like, this is amazing. This is actually I think that we may have turned a corner on all of this nonsense, and people finally to realize that it is in America, it's an individual sport. And I understand that there's an X amount of things that go on in the quote unquote the system of people living close together or whatever. But this is ridiculous. That has been ridiculous. And if they could show us any studies that proved that these vaccines were actually effective, more people would be into having their vaccine. But this mandate crap that they've been doing for the last 30 or 40 years has gotten out of hand. And let's see Florida lead us out of the dark on this crazy stuff.
The Florida Surgeon General, thank you guys. The Florida Surgeon General, LaDepo, just announced that all vaccine mandates in Florida will be ended. And the room erupted. Did you hear that?
I did hear the room erupt.
All vaccine mandates, not just COVID. All, guys.
People need to have a choice. People should be able to get vaccines for their children if they so choose to do so. But the idea that the government comes in and says that every single person born has to have this stuff shot into their bodies is insanity.
Yeah. And Finn is saying that California is adding vaccines to their schedule. Wow, just imagine that. They want you guys zombies, man. You know, this Newsom guy is crimes against humanity, man. The guy is a scumbag.
Well, he's the same mafia as the rest of them, everybody. You know, I mean, what you're right now realizing is that there's a big difference between what you're seeing is that the criminals that are elected to a political position are protecting the criminals. I want you to understand that. If you see a politician standing there and saying there's no crime or the crime is not a big deal, that person is protecting the criminals. Therefore, it must mean that they are themselves a criminal. Therefore, they idolize or they identify with the criminal. We don't identify with the criminal. The criminal is someone, in our opinion, who should be locked away from society for a minute so that he can get an idea of why and how he shouldn't be a criminal.
Yeah. Mike Hess says that includes children vaccine schedules as well. All, yes. Boom. Wow. I am so proud of WTF. Welcome to Florida.
Welcome to WTF Florida.
Means. Yeah, only in Florida, guys. I tell you, I'm loving my state here, guys. JD?
I'm about ready to head that way.
Let's go. Get the shaggin' wagon packed up and let's go.
I'm on my way. No!
Oh, who remembers this?
What was that?
Oh.
Who remembers this? Press 17 if you remember this.
No!
We got the button fixed. No.
Wow. And if you do like vaccines, don't come into Florida, okay? If you do vote blue, don't come into Florida, okay? Just stay out.
Now you're going to repel them. Now they'll think there's something wrong with Florida because nobody down there is vaccinated. So, there's a lot of people that remember the no button.
Look at the 17s out there, guys. Wow. Cram is having issues, but he says it's kind of cool not seeing your ugly mugs anyhow. Yeah.
Well, appreciate that, man. Well, we're glad we're helping.
I love it. And by the way, if you want to share that video, I went ahead and posted it here. Thank you, Mike Hess, for sending me that video. I appreciate it. There's the video on X. Effectual Insurrection says, praise God, we are sovereign beings. Government is created by the people to protect our God-given rights. Government has been corrupted and perverted to control us instead of protecting us. God wins. Boom. Real Iron Eagle also said, it's boom time, Patriots. Thank you for that, Real Iron Eagle. And we appreciate you guys. So what we didn't realize is, first of all, Space Force is in Huntsville, and that's going to become pretty amazing because people that have been following along on our Friday program, Huntsville, Alabama, is actually part of the PACER stuff that we're talking about.
Hub.
Yeah.
Big hub down there in northern Alabama. And it's actually the home of Lincoln and a number of other of the land mass that was owned and controlled by the PACER assets ended up right there where NASA and all of the space technology and von Braun and all of that stuff ended up. So very interesting correlations that we're seeing that will be coming up soon in the in the Pandora's Box books that we're reading. Yeah, you can flash on the screen. It will be on Friday's premium content. This is the book that we're talking about, which connects to everything, interestingly enough, that we are currently talking about right now, whether it be the Federal Reserve or whether it be tariffs or whether it be the idea of whether or not Donald Trump has the ability to negotiate one-on-one with these countries. Look at what's happening with what the establishment is doing. I want you to recognize that the establishment that lords over you hails from the infiltration of your justice system. The people that wear robes and the people that call themselves lawyers are the ones that are most happy to take down and remove your rights as a human being and deteriorate those rights over time. That's where they're at, and that's who we're targeting, and that's who keeps losing.
That's right. And there's the live video on Facebook. I just posted it here in the chat. I see Kino asking where it was, Mike Hess. It is live. It says that I'm live, and it shows it right here. 5 comments and 6 shares. So it's there, guys. I just said it a little late. Sorry about that, okay? So we are live on Facebook, and we're going to actually, go into President Trump right now because he's participating in a bilateral meeting with the president of the Republic of Poland. This is actually really huge in order to, if you understand the history, Shady, we were talking about this morning, Poland was key into defeating the Nazis.
Mm-hmm. Well, also Poland,
along with Russia.
But also Poland was key in instigating World War I and World War II. If not for Poland, the wars probably would have never started. So Poland is very, very critical in the whole conversation we're talking about here of no World War III. That's the conversation we're talking about. You have to realize that the globalist system is driving humanity towards World War III. They've got to have it. They cannot sustain the current model. There's too many people that have too much information on planet Earth right now. They are trying to drive us to a World War III end game. Donald Trump and the MAGA patriots that are working with him are trying to stop World War III, and these people aren't happy about it.
That's right. So we got the Dems protecting, the Dems are protecting criminals. Okay, the Dems are protecting the cleanup of the crime to protect U.S. citizens. The Dems are, protecting Hamas. Right? I mean, what is wrong with these people?
But isn't it interesting that the Dems are doing this whole thing with the Palestinians, and you're seeing that within the movement of all the people that are anti-Israel?
Yeah.
What's the difference between the people that are within the quote-unquote Republican movement that are so anti-Israel and the pro-Palestinian people over there? You have to understand the psyop. You have to understand that the truth is we ain't got a horse in this race. That's what you got to realize. The idea that you're committing to thinking that you have a team, this is not freaking football, guys. This is something completely different. This is the game of risk. This is preventing global thermal nuclear war.
It is. And by the way, Jinkelheimer Schmidt, because his name is my name too, said, did you see Trump's message to China, Russia, and North Korea? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Don't be plotting against us.
I saw it like 4 letters. I saw FAFO.
Yeah.
That's what I saw him say.
BCQ, I'm really kind of tired of you. So, yeah, you can't mention Kate in here. I don't care. You're talking about Austin Steinbart as the commander of Space Force. You're out of here, dude. I think people are getting tired of you. Press 17 if we should kick him forever. I'm
pretty much done with that guy, too.
All right, so let's go into real business here, okay? Not psychological operations and people that fall for them. Let's look at our president, the president of the United States, the head of the MAGA movement, nobody else, not Bannon, not Flynn, nobody else. It is my president, Donald J. Trump, Shady Groove.
That's exactly right.
Here we go.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to have President Nawrocki with us, Poland. He did a good job with that, right? Gave me a little different pronunciation. I said, I want to get it perfect. Did I get it right?
Yeah, good.
I better get it right. And the president's been amazing. He had an incredible race. He came from behind and he won very handily. The people of Poland have taken to him immediately. They really love him. There's great love and respect. He's a very successful man, but he went into a political hatchet, so to speak. It was a pretty tough race, pretty nasty race, and he beat them all, and he beat them all very easily. And now he's become even more popular as they got to know him and know him better. He's doing a really fantastic job. So it's an honor to I also endorsed him, so I'm very proud of that. I don't endorse too many people, but I endorsed him, and I was very proud of that, the job he's done. I want to thank Vince Haley for that recommendation. Vince was fantastic.
Wait a minute, isn't he dead? Didn't the liberals convince themselves that Trump was dead?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was the Flynn cult that were engineering that theory, though, man. I mean, at the core of it, it seemed like they were talking about people throwing things out the window and Trump being dead all weekend.
Yeah, but look at him. He looks pretty fine to me. He looks alive.
John told me it was a body double, bro.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
They're really over the target over there.
And I can tell you who really appreciates it, Poland, because they're very happy with their president. And I just want to say it's an honor to have you. We'll be discussing trade and various other things, the things that you discuss. We'll have a few questions from you, and then we'll get on to a discussion. Then we'll have lunch, and then he goes and he meets with the Pope. And that'll be very exciting. And say hello to the Pope for me.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much,
Mr. President. Thank you very much, and I would like to express my gratitude for your invitation. Only after 1 month from my sworn and from celebration for my inauguration, it means that Polish-American relations are very important, very strong. I think that we have so strong relations that we have never had. And it's very important for me. Our relations are based, of course, on the values. Right. Thank you very much for your support, for your endorsement during my very hard campaign. I remember it, and I'm very grateful for your support. It was the fight me against others, so your support was very important. And the support of Polish people, Polish diaspora in the United States of America. We have almost more than 10 million people here, and they voted for Donald Trump.
They voted for me.
Yeah, and in vast majority they voted also for me, so I would like to say hello to Polish diaspora in United States of America. Those relations for me, for Poland, for Poles are very important with United States of America, and they are based on values: independence, sovereignty, democracy. And I think, Mr. President, that those values are epitomized by our common heroes.
Yes.
Kazimierz Pułaski and Tadeusz Kościuszko. So
that's right.
Thank you very much, and I hope it will be very fruitful discussion around the energy, around the economy and military service. Yeah.
And the flyover was very much in honor of your great pilot who just passed away recently, who was a legend in Poland. You might want to say something about him.
Yes, of course, it was a terrific accident in Poland. Thank you for this gesture that F-35 opened our meeting. Major Krakowian was one of the best Polish pilots, well-honed Polish pilots, and he died. He lost 2 children, so it was a great tragedy.
He was a legend in Poland, actually, a legend as a pilot. He was an incredible pilot, and I think he went to the Air Force Academy, actually. But he was a fantastic pilot, and it was a big setback. The people of Poland are very, very sad. So we thought we'd do that. That was the single plane that swooped up.
And machines, American machines, opened our meeting. It was great, and we are waiting for 32 F-35s in Poland. So it also shows that we have great relations according to the best military equipment on the world, American equipment, which build Polish security too.
Well, Poland, we've had a tremendous relationship. I think now it's better than ever because of this relationship. It's a little special because we fought together. But we've always been very good, and we have some wonderful people, as you know. Duda, my friend, he's a good man and still a big fan of yours, very much so. So it's a great honor, and we're going to talk about trade. We'll talk about some other things. We'll take a couple of questions from the media.
President Trump, will American soldiers remain in Poland? Will American soldiers remain in Poland?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, do you know something I don't? I don't know. We're very happy. If anything, we'll put more there if they want. But they've long wanted to have a larger presence. We have some countries that have more, not too many, but no, they'll be staying in Poland. We're very much aligned with Poland.
Thank you.
So, you certainly after that, we saw a dramatic picture where we saw the leaders of Russia and North Korea and China together. The first time the leaders of those three countries have been together to sort of show of solidarity. You said that they're conspiring against the United States. What do you think they're conspiring to do? And given this, is it reason why you should slap or would consider slapping secondary sanctions on Russia if they're conspiring against the U.S. now?
Well, I've already done that with regard to India, and we're doing it with regard to other things. And I put out a truth last night. You saw that. And I was the one that brought it up. I said they're only doing this. They're looking to, when they did what they did, I thought it was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was very, very impressive. But I understood the reason they were doing it, and they were hoping I was watching, and I was watching. My relationship with all of them is very good. We're going to find out how good it is over the next week or two. I think that we helped China very much, as you know, when they talk about freedom. And I don't believe that, and maybe I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't believe that America, that the United States was acknowledged for helping China to gain its freedom. But perhaps I was just that was a sleight of hand. I mean, I was very surprised. I watched the speech last night. President Xi's a friend of mine, but I thought that the United States should have been mentioned last night during that speech because we helped China very, very much.
Do you think they should have invited you, Mr. President? Do you think they should have invited you? You've expressed many times your frustration and disappointment with Putin, but there's no action since you took your office. Don't you worry that?
How do you know there's no action?
But don't you worry? What actions have you taken? I'm with Polish radio.
Okay. How do you know there's no?
By the way, do not mistake silence for inaction. We've been taught about this, guys, and listen to what President Trump's saying. How do you know there's no action? Okay, here we go.
No action. Would you say that putting secondary sanctions on India, the largest purchaser outside of China, they're almost equal? Would you say there was no action? It cost hundreds of billions of dollars to Russia. You call that no action? And I haven't done phase 2 yet or phase 3. But when you say there's no action, I think you ought to get yourself a new job, because if you remember 2 weeks ago I said, if India buys, India's got big problems, and that's what happened. So don't tell me about that.
India is
President, right now,
Can you pause it real quick?
survivors of Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, just wanted to add a little bit of to understand like what you're seeing right here, right now. This has been building up for about a week or so, and what effectively what has been going on with the globalist narrative, the globalist push, what their agenda is for the BRICS nations to come together and be able to combat or compete with the dollar. Okay, that's what their goal was. That's the way that they came up. That's the plan that they came up with, to use Britain, Russia, or to use India, China, Russia, Brazil in the BRICS nation to quash the dollar. Now, currently, those nations are still on a little bit of that track to do that with all of the things that have been implemented in the last decade or so. Watching this unfold, whenever Trump talks about success will be our retribution, this is what you're going to see occur. What's going to happen is we are going to financially break these countries to the point where they cannot coalesce together. They're going to have to interface with us individually, and as the individual countries, they are all weak against the dollar. So that's currently what Trump is doing. He is working on the beginning of breaking up the BRICS nations agreement.
You mean so he's working on the behalf of the American people, Shady?
Yes, sir. America first.
Wow. I just want to point out, look at this picture here that we have. You got all these people looking at the fake news. Look at them all. They're like, oh, my God, what is this question now? Oh, God, Epstein. Okay. Oh, geez. And then look there's our Susie Wiles, who we actually appreciate and adore.
And just look at what people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey are working on right now.
Yep. Imagine that. Here we go.
Speaking at a press conference on Capitol Hill, they're calling for these case files, these documents to be released. And Thomas Massey, who is sponsoring a discharge petition to get the House to vote on release those documents, says he doesn't believe you're implicated in these files, but many of your friends and donors may be, and he says that's why the Justice Department is redacting them and slow walking the release. Is the Justice Department protecting any friends or donors, sir?
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president. Even if you look at D.C. right now, D.C., it's a totally safe zone. It's called a safe zone. That's a term. It's a term of art. It's a safe zone because it's very safe. You can walk down the street now and nothing's going to happen. No crime, no murders, no nothing. Because we had a lot of problems with certain places, and we still do. All run by Democrats, or for the most part run by Democrats. So what they're trying to do with the Epstein hoax is get people to talk about that instead of speaking about the tremendous success like ending 7 wars. I ended 7 wars. Nobody's going to talk about because they're going to talk about the Epstein whatever. I understand that we were subpoenaed to give files, and I understand we've given thousands of pages of files. And I know that no matter what you do, it's going to keep going. And I think it's enough, because I think we should talk about the greatness of our country and the success that we're having. I think we're probably having, according to what I read, even from 2 people in this room, we're having the most successful 8 months of any president ever. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what we should be talking about, not the Epstein hoax.
When are you going to make a decision on Ukraine, Mr. President? What is your message to Putin? Mr. President, your message to Putin?
I have no message to President Putin. He knows where I stand, and he'll make a decision one way or the other. Whatever his decision is, we'll either be happy about it or unhappy. And if we're unhappy about it, you'll see things happen.
Mr. President, question on Venezuela. Can you give us a sense of what the U.S. policy, or what you're trying to achieve with the aircraft carriers, or the boats, I should say, in near Venezuela, and also the boat that you mentioned yesterday where 11 people were killed? What was found on that boat, and why were the men killed instead of taken into
On the boat, you had massive amounts of drugs. We have tapes of them speaking. There was massive amounts of drugs coming into our country to kill a lot of people. And everybody fully understands that. In fact, you see it. You see the bags of drugs all over the boat. And they were hit. Obviously, they won't be doing it again. And I think a lot of other people won't be doing it again when they watch that tape. They're going to say, let's not do this. We have to protect our country, and we're going to. Venezuela's been a very bad actor. They've been, as you know, they've been sending millions of people into our country, many of them Tren de Aragua, some of the worst gangs, some of the worst people anywhere in the world in terms of gangs. And we had some in Washington, D.C. We took care of them very quickly, but they're out of here. They've gone. But Venezuela's been very bad, both in terms of drugs and sending some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world into our country. They emptied out, you don't know this, but they emptied out their prisons in Venezuela, and they emptied them out into the United States of America. And that's part of the problem we have. We're getting them out. We're getting them out rapidly, but it's caused a tremendous problem. And Pete and all of the people that are working very hard to rectify the stupidity of the Biden administration, allowing these people to pour into our country with open borders. We are paying a big price as a country for the incompetence of the Biden administration. But think of it, opened up prisons, drug dealers, drug lords, everything coming out of Venezuela. They said, and we said, we're not going to put up with it anymore. So Venezuela has been one of the worst actors in the whole group, and we have a group of pretty bad actors.
Are you wanting to force Maduro out of power?
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. At the end of this month, the government or the Congress has to pass a budget. Do you think we can avoid a government shutdown?
Yeah, I do. I think the Republicans will vote for an extension. We won't have any Democrat votes. We could give the greatest budget ever. Tax cut of 50%, everybody taken care of, perfect for women, perfect for men, perfect for minorities, perfect for everything, and we wouldn't get one vote for the Democrats because they've lost their mind. They are so deranged. They have Trump derangement syndrome, and I don't want to burn the Republican Party with it, but they really are. They've become almost sick. They actually think there is a disease. It's called Trump derangement syndrome. They've got it. No matter what we did, no matter how good, you could give them everything that they've ever dreamed of, and you wouldn't get one vote. These are sick people, and I think we're going to have a tremendous midterm. We just approved the largest tax decrease in the history of our country. We have things, if you think of it, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security for our seniors, no tax on overtime, deductions when you buy a car and you borrow money to buy a car. First time they've ever seen anything like this. Middle-income people get deductions. You get a deduction when you buy a car. Nobody's ever seen. And by the way, they're selling cars like crazy. Cars are pouring back because of the fact that we have tariffs. Cars are pouring back into our car plants are pouring back into our nation. They're coming from all over the world. They're coming back. We lost about 54% of automobile manufacturing over a 30-year period, 35-year period. They're all coming back. I think they're coming back higher than ever before. We have AI going up. What we've done is amazing, and what we've passed is amazing. But the Democrats, I don't believe, will get one vote. It's very anti-crime. We want anti-crime. They're in favor of crime. We're against crime. They gave us things like men playing in women's sports, open borders for everybody, transgender for everybody. I mean, they wanted transgender for all of the crazy things that they were saying. And, people would say they're 80-20 issues. I say they were 97-3. I always say 97-3, and nobody knows who the three are. This is the best issue of all. They are against preventing crime. They are fighting us. I want to go into Chicago, and I have this incompetent governor that doesn't want us. Do you know that this weekend 72 people were shot in Chicago? I'm embarrassed to say it in front of the president of Poland. 11 people were killed. 72 people were shot. Last week, 7 people were killed in Chicago, a place which is probably your #1 place. I hate to say it.
Yeah, a lot of Poles in Chicago.
And we got to keep it safe. But 7 people were killed. The week before that, 5 people were killed, and 21 people were shot. This is in 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, I lost almost 35 people were killed. It could have been stopped. If you look at Washington, D.C., 3 weeks ago, it was the same or worse. And now it's considered a totally safe zone. Restaurants are open. They're bustling. Restaurants, you have to see, restaurants were dying. Nobody wanted to go out. They didn't want to be attacked. They didn't want to be mugged. They didn't want to be attacked even in the restaurant. And you take a look at what's happened. Friends of mine that haven't gone to a restaurant in 4 years, one of them went out 5 times in the last 2 weeks to a restaurant with his family. They feel totally safe. Washington, D.C. is a totally safe city. You're not reporting any crime because there is none. They said crime is down 87%, and I said, no, it's not. It's down 100%. We have a great thing going. I could do that with Chicago. We could do that with New York. We could do it with Los Angeles. So we're making a determination now. Do we go to Chicago, or do we go to a place like New Orleans, where we have a great governor, Jeff Landry, who wants us to come in and straighten out a very nice section of this country that's become quite tough,
Let's pause
quite
a second.
bad. So we're going to be going.
So I wanted to jump in here right now and just highlight as we go along. I think this is very interesting. I haven't heard, this is all happening right now as we're talking, but this is so very interesting to see how he's reorganizing the real conversation. The real conversation is about respect, and the real conversation is about who does society belong to? Society doesn't belong to just anybody. Society belongs to the people that obey the rules and play by the rules. That's who society belongs to. And what's been going on, and you see this happening in Europe, and it's been happening here with all of these inundation of people that don't actually belong to the society that we're in. They don't belong to the society. So they're outside of the society, but they're still within and around and among us. Therefore, it makes it a lot easier to blur that line between what is the criminal and what is the victim. And so what Donald Trump is doing right here is amazing in a way that I'm not even sure anybody can actually comprehend. Part of their whole structure is they want to implement these 15-minute city landscapes within the urban areas of American cities. Therefore, like, you have all of the stuff that you need within 10 or 15 minutes of a walking distance from where you live, and you never have to go over into any of these other areas of the city because of all the crime. So effectively, think about it like war. Think about it like conquering territory, owning territory where no other man can go in because it's a war zone. The inner cities of a lot of these, the cities that we have, are currently war zones. Well, the war zones are occupied. They're occupied territory. Who owns the war zone? The people that are selling the drugs. The people that are in charge there, that are standing on the streets, that have the people watching each corner of the streets, whoever's territory that is to sell drugs, those are the people that are going to be attacking local people, not letting people go out of their house. Nobody's going to want to go out of their house, because if you go out of your house, anything that's in your pocket, they're going to likely get. That dynamic is what the globalists want you to live among. Now think about that compared to what Donald Trump is saying. Right there, talking about New Orleans, that's a big deal. He's saying, we've got people that are saying they want our help. So is he going to go into Chicago and cause a ruckus first? No, we're going to go to New Orleans first and get it right and show that, oh, wow, now we've got DC and New Orleans. We're going to do this one by one across the country. There is no normal human being that is part of society, that participates in society and pays their taxes every day for the police and the fire and the mail to be delivered or whatever it is, that doesn't want the streets to be safe and to be able to go wherever they want. Nobody wants a 15-minute city. Nobody wants to just be like huddled into their little category over here. All of us would like to be able to go wherever the hell we need to go anytime we want to go there. Wouldn't that be the best type of country to have?
Absolutely. And by the way, yesterday was a Q proof. It was very pesky. Basically, we do not inform our enemies. Let's just watch this Q proof when we're talking about Chicago and the National Guard. Check this out.
End up on Chicago, though?
Well, we're going in. I didn't say when. We're going in. When you lose, look, I have an obligation. This isn't a political thing. I have an obligation. When we lose, when 20 people are killed over the last 2.5 weeks, and 75 are shot with bullets.
End up on Chicago, though?
Again, so let me just flash that up. So somebody says, how soon? Anon says, how soon? We don't inform our enemies of the specifics. We instead instill fear in them to make unplanned and disastrous counter moves and counter moves. So I think that was a pretty good Q proof yesterday. Also, Shady, if you go to Louisiana and others like New Orleans, you're cutting off Chicago. So, there's other ways to approach it if you kind of know what I mean.
I absolutely do. And you have to understand, like, what is Louisiana? Louisiana is like the Mississippi River. Where does the Mississippi River go? Right through the center of the country. Where does all of that stuff go that they're sending up from the narco states down south? Right to the center and the heart of the country, and then distributed out from there. So I honestly think New Orleans is the greatest place to go to start cleaning it up.
Yeah. Real quick, let me get this one done real quick. Accept and start, Mr. Yeti, because it is the countdown. The countdown is over and the rivalries are real. And the road to the championship began on October 23rd. Westwood One Sports brings you every electrifying moment of the NCAA football. From its first snap to the final whistle, top teams, big plays, unforgettable Saturdays. Do not miss a second of the action. Listen to NCAA football on rumble.com, the Westwood One Sports app on westwoodonesports.com, via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. If it's sports, it's on Westwood One. All right, let's go back to our President Donald J. Trump.
Going to maybe Louisiana, and you have New Orleans, which has a crime problem. We'll straighten that out in about 2 weeks. It'll take us 2 weeks. Easier than D.C. But we could straighten out Chicago. All they have to do is ask us to go into Chicago if we don't have the support of some of these politicians. But I'll tell you who is supporting us, the people of Chicago. And I sort of want them to let it be known they have incompetent people. A guy like Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of a state that if we didn't go into Los Angeles with our soldiers, with our National Guard, you wouldn't even be having the Olympics there. They were going to take it. And remember this. Your top law enforcement officer in Los Angeles said, there's no way we could have done this without President Trump coming in with the troops. We saved Los Angeles and we saved the Olympics. Thank you very much.
Question for President Trump.
Thank you. Mr. President, in regards to Gavin Newsom, would you be open to a congressional investigation in regards to the specific Palisades fire where it killed 12 seniors to see if there's any negligence on Gavin Newsom or Karen Bass in regards to those deaths?
Well, it is negligence on not getting people permits. That is negligent. We got all of the federal permits. Lee Zeldin, the federal permits are much more difficult. They were all gotten within 30 days. People could go build their houses. It's going to be years before they are allowed to build their house. And Karen Bass is grossly incompetent. And Newsom, this is a very incompetent guy. I watched him with the hands. I'm saying, what's going on with the hands? There's something wrong with him. You watch him. There's something wrong with this guy. But more importantly, he didn't allow the water to come from the Pacific Northwest. You know, they have tremendous amounts of water in California. People don't know. They send the water out to the Pacific Ocean. So I demanded it be open. If that were open during the fire, before the fire, you wouldn't have had the fire because all the sprinklers would have worked in the houses. They had no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants. You wouldn't have had the fires. It would have been put out after one house, two houses. But he stopped the water from coming in. And I had to send in the military to have that water opened after the fires. And now they have water, but he should have more because they're still restricted. There's something wrong with these people. There's something really wrong. As to investigation, I view it as a gross incompetence. I view it as an ideology that's wrong. It's a radical left ideology. And if I didn't win this election, I think our country would be destroyed. I don't believe you'd be here right now, and our country would be destroyed. Yeah.
Mr. President Trump, thank you, sir. What's the most important branches of interest between Poland and U.S., in your opinion?
Well, it's just the relationship we have. I think there's a great trust and a great, more than most countries, more than almost any countries. We have some in a category that's very special, and Poland is in that category. We have a very special relationship. It's like the question about the soldiers that was asked. We never even thought in terms of removing soldiers from Poland. We do think about it with regard to other countries, but we would never know. We're with Poland all the way, and we will help Poland protect itself. Okay?
President, I would like to add something. Of course, security is most important also for our relation. And I'm a historian, as you know, maybe, Mr. President. Sure. I'm a historian, and this is the first time in Polish history, in 20th century and the 21st century, that the Poles are happy that we have foreign soldiers in Poland. So the American soldiers are the part of our society. Nowadays we have almost 10,000 soldiers, and this is the signal to the whole world and also to the Russian Federation that we are together. But we are not like the Poland free riders in Europe and in NATO. Mr. President Trump knows it, because our GDP for military service achieved 4.7. So we are probably the one NATO nation which is on this level, and we will not stop. Me, as the President of Poland, we are going to achieve 5% of GDP for military service, but with American soldiers on Polish soil, we solidified and we are secure.
Mr. President, are you satisfied?
Just about that, Poland was one of two nations that paid more than they were supposed to with NATO. I don't know if anyone knows that, but there were two nations, and Poland paid more than they were supposed to. They thought it was low. And by the way, since then, at my request, they've raised it from 2% to 5%. But Poland was one of two nations that paid more than they were supposed to, which was a very nice thing. Yeah.
What's your message for that you were not invited to the parade in Beijing?
Never even thought about it until just now.
President Dabrowski, what's your message for President?
Never even thought. It wouldn't have been my place to be there.
President Dabrowski, what's your message for tariffs?
Will you visit a restaurant in D.C.? You haven't gone to...
I might. Sure.
You haven't gone to one in either of your terms that wasn't any of them. Because I and many other...
Do you want me to prove you wrong? You want me to prove you wrong?
Yes, please.
But I will, I think it's something we could consider doing. Love to do it. I love the White House food, but after a while I could see going to a nice restaurant. It's safe. If you would have said, like the Governor Moore wanted me to go and walk through Baltimore with him, and I said, I think I'm a brave guy, but there's no reason to be stupid. They have crime that's at levels that nobody's ever seen before in Baltimore. They've done a terrible job. We'd go into Baltimore, straighten it out very quickly, too. You know why? They respect our soldiers. You see our soldiers. They respect our soldiers. We'd go there, too. But we're going to have people asking us to go. They're going to want to, and I think the people of those places are, the politicians are not in tune with the people. The people in Chicago, the people in Baltimore, the people in all of the places we talk about, they want to see us there. And I think we're pretty much waiting till we get asked and properly. We're doing them a big service. Yeah, please.
You talked about how historic these tariffs have been, bringing in revenue, additional revenue for our country. You've also mentioned before they could possibly replace federal income tax.
Possible.
Do you think that's
Someday it's possible. It used to be. So if you go back to 1913 is when they ended tariffs. We were the richest ever from 1850. It was all tariffs. We didn't have income taxes. From 1850 to 1913. In the 1887s, about 1887, they had the Great National Tariff Act. And it was a group of people that got together because our country was so rich, they didn't know what to do with the money. We had so much money, they didn't know what to do. It was a group of very prominent people that were set up to hand out money to everybody because we were the richest we ever were. Proportionately, we were in 1887, around that time, even in 1913, we ended them in 1913. How did that work out? And then we went to the income tax system, and then we had the Depression. And by the way, a lot of people try and say that, oh, tariffs with the Depression. No, they ended in 1913. And then we went to income tax, and then in 1929 you had the Depression. They did try and bring it back in 1931-32, but the Depression had long started, and this poor, beautiful nation was gone. It was gone. We suffered for 25 years. It took 25, 30 years to really recover from the Depression. And we don't ever want to see that happen again. The tariffs are vital to the success of this country. When I say I ended 7 wars, at least half of those wars were ended because of the power of tariffs. I was able to say, well, we're not doing any business with you, or if you go into war, we're putting a big tariff on you. And all of a sudden they announced that the war was settled. I settled 7 different wars, one going 31 years, look at the Congo and Rwanda, look at that, 31 years, 10 million people dead, I got it settled. And a little bit of that one, less than in some cases, had to do with trade and had to do with tariffs. So, you know, tariffs are vital to our country. And just so you know, other countries use them on us, but I just use them a lot better. We're in a much better position. We have trillions of dollars coming into our country. If we didn't have tariffs, we would be a very poor nation, and we would be taken advantage of by every other nation in the world, friend and foe. We're not going to let that happen. And we have a very, very big case in the Supreme Court. I can only say this. Our country has a chance to be unbelievably rich again, but it can also be unbelievably poor again. If we don't win that case, our country is going to suffer so greatly, so greatly. But I think we're going to have a big victory. Even if you look at the people that brought the case, they're foreign-oriented. They're foreign. Countries have taken advantage of the United States for so many years. And I started with China. You know, last term, I took in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs from China. But when COVID came, the last thing I was going to do is we're going to tariff France and Italy and, you know, others, Spain, when they were doing so badly. But now we made a deal with the European Union where they're paying us almost $1 trillion, and they're happy to do it. You know what? They're happy. It's done. These deals are all done. I guess we'd have to unwind them. We've done deals with Japan, with South Korea. We've done deals with many countries and others to come. And if we didn't have the power, prestige, and dignity of tariffs, and I used them wisely, and people respect America again, and we've become a rich country again. The money coming in is incredible. And again, they use them on us. If we didn't have them, they would use them on us, and we would have no way to fight them. We would be a third world nation. So I think it's one of the most important cases I've ever seen go before the Supreme Court of the U.S.
Several weeks ago, you gave Vladimir Putin a 2-week deadline to agree to talks with Volodymyr Zelensky. That deadline is now nearly approached. Can you give us any indication when you will make a decision?
Well, I'm having a conversation with him very shortly, and I'll know pretty much what we're going to be doing. We've taken very strong action, as you know, and in other ways we've taken very strong action. But I'll be speaking to him over the next few days, and we're going to see.
With who,
I'm going to know exactly what's happening.
Mr. President,
but I'm not happy with all the people. You got 7,819 people killed last week. Russian soldiers and Ukraine soldiers, right? Not American soldiers, not soldiers from Poland, but they're human beings, they're souls. They have parents, they wave goodbye to their parents, and their parents never see them again. That's the end of them. Over a stupid war, and I want to see it stopped. Now, we have stopped the money we send weapons to NATO, they pay full price. Biden spent $350 billion so stupidly. And it was one of the reasons that this whole thing happened. A big reason this war happened was sitting right in these chairs, this one in particular. So I think we're going to have a good solution, but they're losing soldiers at levels that nobody has seen since the Second World War. This is the worst conflict, and it's just going on and on. It's one's defense, one's offense. The offense moves a little bit. Just a little bit. You take a look. They move inches. They're dropping bombs and killing everybody. The whole thing is crazy. Not since the Second World War has there been anything even close to this. And they're not soldiers from my country. This is my country. But I have a power to end things. That's why I was able to end 7 other wars. And you know that I thought of the 7, they're basically 7. Those were tough wars to end. Much tougher, I thought, than the war with Ukraine and Russia. I thought that Ukraine and Russia have a very good relationship with President Putin. I thought that would be much easier. I thought that would be in the middle of the pack, maybe one of the easiest. Sometimes you never know with war. You know, war is a very interesting thing. You never know with war. War is complex and dangerous, and what a mess, what a bloody mess. It's going to get done one way or the other. But they have to stop killing all of these souls. They're souls, and we have to stop killing. Thank you very much.
Let's go. Get the F out of here. Wow, that is my president, Shady.
Reorienting the country to understand and respect what is most important. The priorities are inverted. That's what Q and everybody else means whenever they say, oh, there's something wrong with the world. What's wrong with the world is everything is backwards. What are we doing? We're turning it back and righting the ship because, you know, it's a lot nicer, Jeff, whenever you're in a boat and you're like breathing the air as opposed to being in the boat and being turned upside down and trying to breathe the water.
Whew. Crazy,
much
guys.
Easier.
I mean, it is so true. I mean, you know, what is really important, you know, is this country. Your well-being as a United States citizen. You know, Jeffrey Epstein, you know, great, okay? But that's not going to make you more plentiful. That's not going to make you more godly or more rich or more be able to buy a house. You know what's going to be able to make you buy a house? Tariffs, okay? Lower interest rates, the economy, what this president is doing with no more wars, ending the endless. The Federal Reserve is much more than Epstein. I get it. You know, why aren't they talking about Bill Clinton and Epstein, Shady? It's Bill Clinton 28 times. You can infer that he did crap 28 times because he went to Epstein Island 28 times. Trump went there 0 times. He did go there from New Jersey to Palm Beach, I think once or twice, but he even went to other places, guys. I mean, New Mexico, Bill Clinton. These people. Now, a lot of people, he says Epstein is a hoax, okay? Epstein is a hoax because I believe there's a much more to it. And I've actually went over it with some other people as well. And Livid showed me some evidence as well. And I think I talked about it on this show. I think, you know, you have these Epstein victims talking with Massey and what's her name, Marjorie, but they've already been paid. Okay. They are Epstein victims and Epstein was arrested. Okay. Wow.
And also, there's something else to this that a lot of people aren't understanding. The people that the young women that were brought into the situation, from everything that I've read and understanding the case, like, you know, the Virginia Jeffries, whatever it was that they did, they were paid.
Yeah.
They were given money in the moment whenever they were leaving the island or whenever they left the facility or whatever, they were given money. So there is a prostitution type aspect to this of people that maybe they were underage. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody really knows. But does it matter? Like what Jeff is saying, I think that is the perfect point to make.
Right.
It does not matter in our greater economy, any of this nonsense. And there is no real ability to blackmail anyone with this nonsense.
Right. You have to have a victim. You have to have a victim. And we'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages. Beautiful boom messages.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20% and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing can stop what is coming. That is Captain Chaos. I'm going to drop that link in there in the chat here. And if you guys could, our digital Q Army, okay? Not digital army. We're the Q Army, strunk, as Shadley says. Go in there and tell him the MG Show sent you. All right. He's done some great work. Even Earl Matthews even shared his Flynn Loomer video as well. Boom Shakalaka is right, squirreling on. Shady Groove, welcome back to the show.
Man, that's really, I mean, that's excellent. And that's exactly the power and the energy that we're bringing every single day as America is back. America is back to leading the world in the conversation of what it means to stand up and to be strong and to defend yourself. All of the world is controlled by all of the aristocracy. The aristocracy are a bunch of spineless, weak-kneed jellyfish. America is different than all of the rest. There is no equal. There is no competition to your country and to the way your country gives you the benefit of the doubt, gives you, the individual, the innocence. Okay? I want you to make that clear to all the people out there that want heads on pikes. You have to get this through your head. You and everyone else is innocent. That's what America gives you. The aristocracy gives you guilty. You are immediately guilty. You have to prove your innocence. In America, they have to prove your guilt. That is an inversion that we as America should be trying to export, and not only export, but to protect here, as opposed to just throw it aside like half the people out there on TV will tell you that America is an old, outdated system from the 200 years ago that needs to be trashed. That is absolutely not true.
That's right. And look at what they're doing. They're just reeing the whole time, Shady. I mean, the right-wing media as well. Okay, you fake MAGA is just as guilty. You are just as guilty as the mainstream media by reeing against Donald J. Trump and the DOJ, right? General Flynn, you little frickin' nutball. Stop it.
Such absolute narcissism. Okay. That's what you're seeing from him, is absolute narcissism. And he's got all of his little echo chambers around him that give him this feedback loop about how important what he says is. Literally the things that he says have 0.0 impact or importance outside of his little hemisphere of brainwashed cult members.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right, let's go to this. Donald J. Trump. The big question to be answered is whether or not President Xi of China will mention the massive amount of support and blood that the United States of America gave to China in order to help it secure its freedom from a very unfriendly foreign invader. Many Americans died in China's quest for victory and glory. I hope that they are rightfully honored and remembered for their bravery and sacrifice. Maybe President Xi and the wonderful people of China have a great and lasting day of celebration. Please give my warmest regards to Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un as you conspire against the United States of America. President Donald J. Trump.
Wow.
Yeah.
The real conversation. We're 8 months in, and we're actually getting to the meat of the matter, to the virtue signal, right? You guys understand that everything about Iran was a virtue signal. Everything about North Korea was a virtue signal. They were pretending like they were going to do these things so that they could hold a threat over you. If they were actually implement the threat that they're holding over you, then the blackmail is gone.
Yeah.
People don't recognize how this plays out. They don't game theory it out to understand where the stop block is. And Donald Trump is basically calling their bluff. I don't really know of any other way to characterize it other than we're standing there and we got a strong guy and he's standing up and he's got his pistol in his pocket and he's saying, "I'm your Huckleberry. Let's see what you got." And they got bumpkins. They got nothing, 0.0, 24/7. All they have is a virtue signal and a bunch of crybabies.
That's it. That's all they got. Yo. And also, so listen to what NATO Whitaker says, the ambassador to NATO. Whitaker, check this out.
Where these other countries are having to respond. And, China, I will note, most of the military equipment they demonstrated in this parade was technology most likely stolen from the United States or our allies. And, they couldn't fight the United States if they tried. We are the only world superpower with the biggest, strongest economy. And that's what we need to continue to do. We need to continue to invest in our defense. And we also need to make sure that we continue to protect the American dream and the American entrepreneur.
And I'd like to just point out too. You saw. Let me just pause this video for a second because, or mute it. But I want you to watch the soldiers marching. What this is showing to the world is that their troops are the most mind-controlled troops out there. Look at them march in unison. Here, look at this. This is how much mind control that China has. Okay. This is what this is showing off. This is showing off control of your population. Okay? Look at that, Shady.
Correct. And intimidation of your own population. Those soldiers aren't there to intimidate you. They're not there to make you afraid. They're there to make sure that their society stays in check.
That's right. Many people don't realize that our education department flew over to Prussia, okay, which is, Russia, Germany area, that Baltic area there, whatever. And they got off the plane and they saw all the soldiers, doing the same thing. They're like, how can we get that? And that's how you got your education system, guys. People don't realize the true history of our country and how detrimental they've been slowly cooking you and your mind control. And now they add drugs, and now you got these trans shooters and these Did you see this transgender person went into a person's home and raped a toddler in front of the parents?
Yep.
These people so they perfected the mind control cocktail, Shady.
They have. They absolutely have. And everybody stood back and were afraid of, somebody calling them out if somebody stood up and said, hey, there's a man in the women's bathroom. You see? Yeah. And so they pushed the envelope and pushed the envelope and pushed the envelope. It all started with people saying, oh, please just allow gay people to get married. And I'm not coming down on gay people at all. But the people that are at the helm of this stuff utilized that reality to keep pushing the envelope. And the next thing you know, they're out there saying, oh, protect NAMBLA. They're like, oh, NAMBLA is some sort of protected organization like the North American Man-Boy Love Association. This is, go dig into it. It's connected. No. It's connected to the church. You want to talk about, the Venezuela cartels bringing drugs here. Oh, well, go look at it.
It's connected to the
church
and Arabella advisors and the stupid freaking bullshit people. So they took over your movement. LGB, right? LGB was the original movement. Then they added the T, the Q, the plus, the whatever else. Your LGB movement got hijacked. And you guys want me to protect those people? I don't think so.
But it's pushing on you in every aspect of society. This is what they're doing to you. They're taking, imagine a balloon. Your society is an inflated balloon, right? And so every single one of these things, your society exists, the inflated balloon is perfect. Everybody has perfect freedom. Let's pretend. Okay, all of these different globalist things that are doing are pressing in on it from different points all around the balloon. And what they're trying to do is to make it pop. If they can make it pop and we can't make our payments, if we can't make our payments on the trillions of dollars that we owe, that's the sticking point. That's the reason the Fed is keeping the rate at 6%, because if the rate dropped down to 3%, we can pay our bills no problem.
Yeah. So Rosby says, not seeing many trans in Russia or China. Well, they are training MK assassins here in the U.S., okay? And the mind control cocktail to do so, not soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to let you guys know that, there's a difference, guys. All right. And what they're doing to our society is absolutely ridiculous. And it's all by the signal of virtue, Shady.
Every inch that they've gotten, that they've been able to encroach on us since we were alive, let's say just since the mid 80s, since the second Bush administration, look at think about where you were as far as freedom was concerned pre-Patriot Act. And then they told you, oh, we need all of these rules. And now you've seen the inside. You've seen that who they're targeting. You see that they're targeting people that have opinions at school board meetings. You see that they're targeting people that have opinions about not wearing a mask. Well, that's not what your Patriot Act, that's not what you thought that your Patriot Act was doing, but that is exactly what your Patriot Act did. It also gave them the right to maraud over your Capitol on J6. That's what your Patriot Act did. They're like, oh, we're losing all of our power. Donald Trump is going to take all of our power and actually get rid of the need for us. We've got to stop him.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
And, I've been watching these videos that are on TikTok. Welcome to the 80s. Do you remember the 80s where we were able to, go outside and play for 14 hours, drink from a hose, come back home when the street lights are on? Our parents are trying to get us to come back inside, not to go outside. Right. I mean, my God, guys, what has happened to our society?
Inverted. We're breathing water, not air.
Yeah.
It's inverted.
Crazy. All right, so let's go to this. This is a huge announcement. Space Force was announced. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to play a little bit of this as well. This is your President of the United States of America with a major announcement in regards to Space Force. Let's check it out, Shady.
All right.
Is every one of them I rate it 10. I can't always say that, even if they're Republicans, and these are Republicans, great Republicans. I want to thank you all for being here for this important announcement, 7 years in the making. As you know, this has been going on for a long period of time, and I am thrilled to report that the U.S. Space Command headquarters will move to the beautiful locale of a place called Huntsville, Alabama, forever to be known from this point forward as Rocket City. Okay, so Huntsville, Alabama, we love Alabama. I only won it by about 47 points. I don't think that influenced my decision though, right? That didn't, right? But we had a lot of competition for this, and Alabama's getting it. Huntsville.
So I want to just point out something. Remember the Roger Clemens post? You know what his nickname is, Shady?
What?
Rocket.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And also, little Rocket Man was Elon Musk, okay? Because he helped North Korea, okay? Do we understand this yet?
Mm-hmm. That is interesting.
Right. And now we got Rocket City right here in the United States of America, Huntsville, Alabama, to be exact. Pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations, everybody. Katie, congratulations. This will result in more than 30,000 Alabama jobs and probably much more than that, and hundreds of millions of dollars of investment, and that's billions because it can't be millions, it's billions and billions of dollars. Most importantly, this decision will help America defend and dominate the high frontier, as they call it. I want to thank Secretary Pete Hegseth. He's doing a fantastic job, and Secretary of the Air Force Troy Mink. Troy, thank you very much. Great job you're doing, Troy. This is such a big deal. This is one that everybody wanted to know. What are you doing? I also want to thank Senators Katie Britt, and I want to give my condolences. Your grandmother, her grandmother just passed away. She was 100, right?
100, and she loved you, Mr. President.
Well, and she was very proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Very, very proud of you. So thank you, Katie.
Wonderful woman.
What a terrible man. Wow. What a bad guy, Shady. Orange man bad.
Man, I'm actually glad that you stopped it right there because I was getting ready to say.
What a beautiful thing to say, huh?
What a wonderful thing to say. And then it reminded me of like what he said to the prime minister from Poland just a few minutes ago to stop the conversation for a second and to acknowledge the pilot that is recognized by the country. Like everybody that's in the country sees that, like her, like, and her family sees that. Like, wow, he took a moment to acknowledge her family's a recent passing of someone who achieved, being on this planet for 100 years. That's a pretty monumental thing for anybody to accomplish, and just to get representative of who we are is what I feel like. I feel like he
exactly
gets who we are and what our sentiment would be in general if we were to like all speak together.
Exactly. How people were people.
Yeah, and love each other and be kind to one another and quit being a jerk.
Douche nozzle.
that too.
All right, here we go.
Must have been to produce you indirectly. I can tell you she had to be. Tommy Tuberville, who's a great coach, and I won't say anything about what happened with Alabama football this weekend.
Let's leave that out.
But you're not used to that, right? You're not used to that. But Tommy, Auburn won, is right. They did. So you're happy. Tommy's been a great senator, as you know, and a fantastic guy all around. He was also a tremendous coach. House Armed Services Committee Chair Mike Rogers. Thank you, Mike. With Mike, thank you very much. Doing great, Mike. Representatives Barry Moore, all great friends. Robert Adderholt, Gary Palmer, and Dale Strong. Thank you all very much, fellas. Appreciate it. In my first term, I created a thing called Space Force, so important. We were losing the race in space very badly to China and to Russia, and now we're far and away number one in space, and reestablished Space Com with a mission to protect American space assets and detect any threat to our homeland. We initially selected Huntsville for the Spacecom headquarters, yet those plans were wrongfully obstructed by the Biden administration. And as you know, they moved them to a different locale. And today we're moving forward with what we want to do and the place that we want to have this. And this will be there for hopefully hundreds of years. That's where it's going to be. I will say I want to thank Colorado. The problem I have with Colorado, one of the big problems, they do mail-in voting. They went to all mail-in voting. So they have automatically crooked elections. And we can't have that. When a state is for mail-in voting, that means they want dishonest elections because that's what that means. So that played a big factor also.
Get rid of mail-in voting in Oregon. I'll run.
Com will play a key role in building the Golden Dome, as you know. That's going to be a big thing. Everybody wants to be a participant in it. Missile defense shield. We're going to be having a Golden Dome that the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. The finest, the best. And by the way, Canada called. They want to be a part of it, and that'll be great. But Canada wants very much to be included in that, and we're going to work something out with them, I hope. It will also ensure that our technological capabilities, of which we're way ahead of anybody else, there's nobody close, remain unmatched long into the future. So I'd like to ask Secretary Hegseth to say a few words. He was very much a part of it. And really, everybody behind me was. Every one of these people would call me and lobby me. I said, Katie, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I know what you want. She said, that's right, sir. That's what I want. And they got their way. So I just want to congratulate. These are really special people. They're politicians in many ways, but they're great patriots, I think even more so than politicians. So they fought very hard to get it, and it's an honor to give it to Huntsville. Pete, say a few words, please.
All right. Wow. So, very interesting. Space Force, guys. Space Force was the National Reconnaissance Organization. Shady, you remember we did that dig on that?
Absolutely. I mean, think about how long ago that was now, and where we're sitting here today in connection with the NRO stuff, because that's one we haven't brought back up in a minute.
That's right. So I did a Space Force. They even had the NRO even had a patch called "Where we float one, we float all."
Yeah, and all your servers belong to us.
Well, that wasn't a patch, but
that wasn't a patch.
We were talking about the demonic patches of the NRO, and there was only one organization that the president did not have control of, and that was the NRO at the time. And while I'm doing that thread, the NRO guy actually retired, stepped down, and then 8kun was taken down. That was very interesting timing about all that.
And I think that was around the same time that our channel was given the 3-month delay. That was all happening right at the same time,
I think so.
Our YouTube channel.
I think so, too. And real quick, Shady, let me get this one done, too, because we got another one. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Just set your clocks, mark your calendars, buckle up for the best NFL primetime football action starting on September 4th on Westwood One. You can catch all the bone-crushing hits, last-second heroics, and edge-of-your-seat action at the NFL Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights have to offer. Whether you're tailgating, driving, or chilling at home, do not miss a single snap. Listen to the NFL app at westwoodonesports.com, or just say ALEXA. Open Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One. Thank you. All right. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to jump to just make a real quick comment here about how much that we all as a country need to start focusing on respect. We need to start recognizing the power of respect. And I think that that's one of the messages that Donald Trump is constantly sharing with you for a very specific reason. Because respect begats respect. Respect, the dilution of respect is what the communist socialists want implemented. They don't want people respecting the law. They don't want people respecting authority. They don't want people respecting someone else's rights. Because if they could get enough people that don't respect your rights, when someone doesn't respect your rights, they are essentially giving up theirs. They're essentially capitulating that they don't have any if they're not willing to respect yours. Do you understand how that dynamic works? In other words, the communist idea is there's no one can have private property. You don't have the right to defend with force your private property. Well, that would be because someone didn't respect it. So therefore, then that particular perspective is on the side of the perpetrator, the person who didn't respect, not on the side of the person who is innocent, the person who does respect. That's what I meant earlier when I said the people that own society. The people that own society are the people that respect each other's right to exist within it. Once you have decided that some group or person doesn't have any rights to be in society, then you have lost the respect that you claim that you deserve in the argument.
That's right. That's right. All right. So thank you for covering that. And I just found the NRO thread as well. Want to cover that real quick, Shady? Might as well.
I'd love to. Let's do it. I mean, I think that I think there's a number of people here that probably this is going to be a little bit new to.
Yep, this is new, and this is my thread on how the DNI sits on top of the NRO, which is why Coates had to be removed before D-Class, in my opinion. This is what we were thinking at the time. Let's go. But this is Reconnaissance Operations, National Reconnaissance Operations Center. It's corn backwards. Isn't that interesting? Corn are for ready to be cut. And then also this one right here, where we float one, we float all. Wow, guys. Crazy. So basically, oh, the thread is gone, Shady. Isn't that great?
What do you mean?
Look, my thread's not there.
Oh, what?
They do this to me all the time. You guys are afraid of my digs, aren't you?
Wow, bro. That's like a 30, 40 post thread.
Yeah.
We need to find, now we got to find the second post in the thread to get to the rest of it. Maybe, oh my God, these people. And then take away your thread reader unroll too.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if I can find it anywhere in here somewhere. Maybe there's another comment way down here. I don't know.
Sean's already seen if she can get to it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But this also happened on the Paysor thread. Like, so
Yep.
Twitter is breaking up our research, everybody. As we put this stuff in here in real time. In real time, as it was happening, we were bringing this stuff to all of you guys. And this is what, people were like screaming at me just yesterday. Oh, you're not really censored. Yes, we are. We're completely censored because we're showing you exactly where the damn government corruption is. Everybody else is telling you that all the government have already been Gitmo'd and that half of them are clones and all these idiots are running around out here telling you Jennifer Flynn's a hero. That's what these other people are focusing on while they're in the background taking down our research and the stuff that we've worked for years to bring to you that should be there for a reference material like a library. But no, oh no, can't depend on anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm trying to see.
We're working on it. Poussin says she's looking right now.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, we need the second post of the NRO thread. If anybody out there can find that, that would get us to the rest of the thread. Usually, sometimes they're breaking them up at every post.
Yeah.
I mean, the one was broken up at every post.
Like
and
this one.
unless we
remember when Dorian corporate media was silent? NRO. So fake news about shift narratives against their master's effort to weather the storm. Q1448 false flag weather alert. Stay vigilant. Maintain situal awareness. But remember this: the microwaves coming out and touching Dorian. It was coming right at me. A Cat 5 was coming right at Mar-a-Lago, me, and the nuke area right here. And then you can see
north.
Yep. It stopped. It stopped, Shady. It stopped in its tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And remember, this is northwestern Dorian. So remember, China builds the world's largest port in the Bahamas. So it sat there and churned on that and destroyed it. Wow. Wow, guys. So yeah, so that just takes a lot. We do it live. I mean, but I can't even
we
present you
our
stuff.
research to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I have the thread, and it's
now
it's so
it's like now the only way to get to it would possibly be to go, like I said, to finding the second one, or maybe the archive have it. Red Reader app, it's all messed up too.
Found it. Let's see what you got.
Let's see.
All right, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Aha! Look at that. There we go. All right. So
there's post?
What? That's the second post.
Yes. Nice. All right.
So the director reports to the SecDef, who in concert with the DNI has, thank you, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
That's
Your
awesome.
name is my
Great
name
job.
too.
It's my name too.
I know. Has ultimate management and operational responsibility for the NRO, the National Reconnaissance Organization. The DNI establishes collection requirements and priorities for satellite gathered intelligence. Okay. It's all there, right there. It's all right here. It's all sauced. Oh, but we don't have the third post. Wow.
This one's broken on every post.
Let's see.
This is criminal.
Wow. Look
This
at
is
that.
criminal,
Look
man.
at that.
I am so
We're not censored.
pissed off right now. Oh my God.
Wow.
That means we'll never find it. If they broke it at every link, bro. I mean, unless we can find, I guess, Thread Reader app.
They don't go back anymore. Let's go to Thread Reader app. Because they don't go back. And all my shit was...
You were actually paying for that at the time to make sure that it stayed up.
And they took off my Thread Reader app other one. You know what I mean? The Thread Reader app, I had a staging.
Looks like check Zoom chat. We got a couple links in here, maybe.
Yeah. I just got one here, but no, it's broken
posts.
too.
18 posts here in Zoom.
All right, let me go over here. Zoom in your boom boom. Shady hump.
Oh, shady hump.
All right, so here's the complete list of links, chronological order. All right, so let's go over here, bring this over here. All right, and that's broken. Okay, so that one's broken. Look at this, guys. So let's go to the third one.
We're realizing this in real time with you. This is what's going on.
All right, we just read this one. Okay, let's go to this one. Okay, the next one is could an uncontrolled agency be the NRO? So this post here is from Q23. They knew our agencies would grow in power so much they can and could hold the executive hostage or engage with bad actors. Trump nominated someone new to direct every agency but one. He controls the top. And that is right there. That's what I was thinking there. So that's that one. Let's go to this one. We don't have the SAPs. This is the structure, right? It shows that it doesn't report to the president. Look at this, man. Oh, wait.
If you got it'll show you the post above once you get to the link below.
Yeah.
Is the way this works. But it won't show you the post that's attached below any particular post you're on. So
patches.
If you got to get to the bottom post, I guess, is what we have to do.
Yep.
The very bottom post would reveal the whole thread.
Yep, because the SAPs. Because what's interesting too is that these guys here, the NRO, had the biggest budget with the fewest amount of employees.
Yep. And massive presence in North Korea. All the videos that were linked to North Korea and the way that they were I think there was like 2 different YouTube videos that were in that thread also.
All right, here we go. Check this out. So, okay, here we go. This is it. So, I first want to point out that the NRO, overseen by the DNI, has the biggest budget with the least amount of employees. They do business via SAPs or special access programs, okay? This is, look at this was on our site, inthematrix.com/QPosts, okay? This QPost site right here is now called QAG, and the guy turned on us because we helped build it.
Yep.
Imagine that. All right, so look at that. That's the NRO, biggest budget, fewest amount of employees, total number of civilian, military personnel and civilian personnel, and the biggest budget. So the fewest to the biggest. And then, the trader sold SAPs. This is how do you break up something this big? Okay, you make it Space Force, guys. That's what the theory was. And who are the trusted patriots who understand intel collection? This is now bullshit.
Both of them are BS now.
Yeah,
we didn't even talk about the Mike Rogers thing that happened last week.
Oh, I know. So this is the symbolism, could be the downfall, right? Q always says symbolism is their downfall, and they call themselves wizards as depicted here in one pic right here. This is the NRO, right? The National Renaissance right here. And then wizards and warlocks, guardians of intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Does that look like a guardian of intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Then this is where we float one, where we float all. Again, you've got the all-seeing eye, the moon, and the 4 stars. That could be S4, right? The FL flight ops right here. U.S. space. Okay, and then here's the patch B2 stealth bomber in Latin. It says tastes like chicken, which is very interesting. Mm-hmm. Here's another one here saying let them hate as long as they fear.
I want everybody's attention to see that you can clearly see that the information in this thread is still here, but it's hidden in a way that is obfuscating all of this from you. The only thing you're going to see is the number 1 post if you ever even come across that post. This
Unbelievable.
makes a lot of sense as to why that no one is ever bringing up or talking about any of the hundreds and hundreds of threads that were done during the course of the investigation into all of the Q drops. No one ever is reposting any of that information because none of it is ever being seen anymore.
Yeah, Mike Rogers is not good, Simba.
Yep, not good.
Did we go over that?
We did not.
Yeah. Do you have it?
We were completely covered. I don't have it right in front of me. No, sir. I mean, I can give a little bit of an overview while you're looking for something if you want to go in that direction. We have indications effectively that assumptions that were made that Mike Rogers, Admiral Rogers, that's mentioned a number of times in the Q post, was kind of assumed with the way the posts were written that he gave Trump the heads up.
There you go, Shady.
Okay, thank you very much. That he had given Donald Trump the heads up on the wiretapping, but it looks like that turned out to not be true.
Red Pill Pusher says, please link that post, the last post, but that wasn't the last post. There's many more posts to this thread.
There had to have been 20 more. I mean, there's a bunch more. It goes way down. There's the videos about North Korea, and then the videos about the rocket technology, and then talking about connecting it to Elon Musk, and then the other Q posts. It's more.
Lydia, who's left? Donald J. Trump. That's who's left.
That's it. Well, MG show.
And the MG show. All right, so this is it right here. We can now answer the question. Did NSA Mike Rogers warn Donald Trump on November 17, 2016? The short answer is no, he did not. Okay? And these are Q posts as well, guys. Wow. And then you have the whole article here, don't you?
Yes, sir. It should be the next post.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So this is Mike Rogers did take action in April 2016 to stop the searches within the NSA database that were entirely due to political surveillance. Yes. 6 months later, on October 20th, the extensive review of all political surveillance searches done from November 2015 to April of 2016 was completed. NSA compliance officer briefed Director Rogers 6 days later on October 26, 2016. NSA Director Mike Rogers then informed FISA court that of unlawful surfaces and his actions to address the issue. 1 month later, on November 17, 2016, NSA Director Mike Rogers went to see Trump. Okay. Director Rogers was also with DNI Clapper and I believe Brennan and Flynn that day.
Mm-hmm.
The very next Friday, November 18th, they reported a recommendation in October that Mike Rogers be removed from his NSA position. And he was removed, guys. The heads of the Pentagon and the nation's intelligence community have recommended to President Obama that the Director of National Security Agency, Michael Rogers, be removed. The recommendation delivered to the White House last month was made by Defense Secretary Ashton B. Carter, the Director of National Intelligence, James R. Clapper, Jr., according to several U.S. officials familiar with the matter. So, I don't know. So, the recommendation to fire Rogers preceded his visit to Donald Trump, though the IC effort may have provided some additional motivation for the Rogers visit itself. NSA Mike Rogers traveled to New York when the skiff was set up for President-elect Trump to use following November 8th, 2016 election. The next day, November 18, 2016, Trump transition team announced that they were moving the transition activity to Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, where they interviewed and discussed most sensitive positions to fill, specifically defense, state, CIA, and ODNI. There was a great deal of speculation surrounding the visit by Director Rogers and the move from Trump Tower to Jersey. Did Rogers tell President Trump about the political surveillance from November 2015 to April 2016? We now know the answer is no, he did not. Director Rogers did recommend an easier venue for the skiff to operate with secured communication channels, but Rogers did not notify President Trump about the use of NSA database for political spying. Wow. Oh, crazy. I think we got it here, Shady.
Yeah.
Let me see. The Cult Space Program. I don't think this is it. Let me just see. Nope. That doesn't work either. Wow, guys. It's crazy. All right. Anyways.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like trying to think of like, how the hell are we even going to like, what in the world do we have out there to put back together if it's gone like this, dude?
Yeah.
What are they doing in the background? You know, this AI or whatever. I mean, maybe that's taking stuff apart. What is going on?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, because, you know, I'm noticing now, like with the comments thing, you got to click the comment and then it says one, but you don't see the comment unless you make another click.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Like you're not seeing the conversation roll underneath the post. Like they are, it's like it's stacked different. I don't know how to describe what I'm talking about, but it looks different to me.
Yeah. This is messed up, guys. This is really disappointing. I need that link somewhere else. How do I get it over there? Jeez. There's a thread reader app. Can you drop it into chat here or no?
Here you go. I'm going to switch it over here, Yeti. I'm going to read a couple of these here real quick. This is post number 1866, giving you this image here, explaining Q, POTUS, most definitely in control, trust the plan, where we go, when we go, all 1866, it says, important takeaway. We've had the ball the entire time. Think offense. Why did POTUS move his entire operation out of Trump Tower the day after the Admiral Rogers skiff meeting? The world is watching. The world is here. Look at the all caps, eyes on. So we made an inference from the post like this that yes, the answer to that question would have been yes, because you would kind of think that, oh, okay, well, Admiral Rogers gave Trump an insight into this going on, and that's why this is focusing on Rogers. But in all reality, this is saying that no, he didn't do that. He should have done that, and because he didn't do that, that's why they had to move, because he was completely realizing of the inundation. And then here in 1867, the quote from Important Takeaway that we just read, they are in full-blown panic mode. They are in full-blown panic mode. Now, why would that they not be Rogers, Clapper, Flynn, Comey, Brennan? Why would that not be them? See, it has to include Flynn. Flynn was going to be in on this. He was right there with the meeting. Each fake news article written or attack is a badge of honor, military grade. Huh. And then here, it must be hard to communicate. Every moment together is a moment you should not waste. Former presidents are still able to arrange skiffs, maybe indicating that these meetings were engineered by former presidents that claim to not give Donald Trump the information. It's very interesting. I feel like this is unlocking some new stuff.
Yeah, it is. And by the way, it's interesting about the NRO. It was started by a Pacer original company called GE, Big Bird Offline, GE. It's just the thread is so good.
It's beyond good.
Let me see. I got a thread reader app here. Let me see.
It would have taken us that whole half hour to get through that, to share that with you guys. I mean, it was huge.
Look at that. Missing some tweets. Force a refresh. They're missing everything. It doesn't give me anything.
Not even one post below it.
What? But it's got this one, which is pretty interesting.
Now I'm going to move into some of these mission.
What's that?
I said that was the one with Passio.
Yep, that's who helped decode the mission patches, which is very interesting because they are the dark occult guys. They're not Jewish. They're not Christian. They're Satanists. Okay?
And they're also generals.
Yeah.
Patches that deal with
let's just watch some of it.
Clearly occultic imagery, clearly wizard imagery. Certain subdivisions of the people within the NRO actually refer to themselves as the wizards, I have heard, okay, through people who have studied some of this, space aspects to the control system a little bit more. They have put forward that there's, certain special mission teams within these organizations that refer to themselves as the wizards or the sorcerers, because they have the highest level inside knowledge about what the actual purpose of these missions are, whereas everybody else is on a need-to-know basis. So they're the inner circle of the inner circle.
Based on our decoding of this occult JPL tradition, Enterprise, over the last year, has apparently discovered a well-hidden pattern by which NASA has apparently been operating without knowledge of most of its non-initiated scientists or engineers for more than 30 years. This mission pattern, in turn, seems based on...
I remember that, too. Okay, so we're good. But very interesting, Shady. My thread is all messed up, and it's really disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's disappointing to our audience right now because we have information that we have put down and cataloged for you so that we could reference it and share it again in the future with new people. And that just now didn't happen for one of the first times.
Exactly right. Wow. No, and
but we're not censored. Maybe
we're not censored.
Talk about JFK Jr.
Yeah, and masks and stupid shit.
Yeah, I'm going to start claiming that everybody's already been Gitmo'd. There's no criminals left to arrest.
Yeah, but these guys are Jewish, Shady.
Oh, yeah, they're all Jewish. Yeah.
Wow. Wait a second. What did I get here?
Well, uh-oh. That sounded exciting. Uh-oh.
Oh,
look at him. No. Look, he's
look,
smiling.
Shady.
Oh, no.
It's all right here. I got it.
There you go.
So from that tweet gives you all of this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, so... Wow, guys.
Go back to the bottom one, wherever you got to that from, and bookmark the one that will lead you back to the whole thread. Okay.
I definitely will.
Yes, sir.
But look at this. Never in our history has a communications project such like this taken place. Return power back to the people, guys.
Q-proof.
Wow. Snake dragon symbolism, right? There's your snake and your dragon. All your base are belong to us. You were talking about that. They did have that in there. That's right. And it talks about Corona offline. Corona.
We actually talked about that yesterday.
Blind eyes in the sky. Those are satellites, guys. Yep. Okay.
And we were just now talking about how the InfoWars network and the Flynn networks are all flying blind. They don't have a connection to the administration. Therefore, all of their information is rotten to the core, and they can't get anywhere with it because they're wrong every day.
That's right. Wow, guys. And then Q posts NRO's Corona. Okay. So, Corona offline. That's how they just changed it yellow on QAG. You notice that? This was at Matrix colors. Now they're yellow, but there is still the green in there because he's colorblind. He doesn't see it. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Boom. Corona. Right. Wizards. Yeah. Wizards controlling Earth through magic is a recurring theme in PSYOP patches. And is magic still a part of the rocket launch like the times of Jack Parsons and the OTO? Look at that, guys. Look at all the satanic imagery. Okay.
And rock. Now we're talking about the whole thing with Huntsville, and that's going to open up further within the understanding of the Paysor family and how all of this got started, and how are they implementing rocket technology around the world. Notice that those patches look like the B team patches, by the way. Yep. Jeff, you're recognizing that, right?
Yep.
The B team that's out there will display these patches. They are the wizards and the warlocks that think that they're occupying Q's space right now.
Look at this. So there's a rocket going above the all-seeing eye because they need these rockets for them to see. Okay? It's above. The trajectory is above the all-seeing eye. Look at that. Wow. Okay? And look at B. There's your B team. Other NRO spy satellite launches have also used similar images. Okay? NRO patch mission. This is creepy figure right here within.
That's another image the B team uses.
Yep. Looking over the earth with creepy eyes.
We got a couple of our guys, I think Real Iron Eagle and Star Rider out there are fighting with the B team right now.
Look at this one. Si ergo sertorium faciam me tu de los eres, which means I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. NROL 66. Look at 66. Get your kicks on 66. That's not satanic.
No.
Huh? No. Signal to the market. They control the market. Signal threat. Welcome to the global war. 666, guys.
Economic terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
Implemented.
We own the night. So this is the night and owl symbolism. Okay. And I found this. Follow the owls around the world and also the Y heads. Remember that, Shady? These are owls.
Yep.
And this is a Chinese company called Head. Does that look like a Y?
Y head. Follow the Y head around the world.
And there's Y Head, Chinese company. Interesting.
It's almost like we've been doing this stuff for a minute.
Yep. Trump names new acting director of national intelligence. So this is it right here. This is when it went down, Shady. 8/5/19. Christopher Scolis was sworn in as the 19th director of the NRO.
That was 6 years ago.
Yeah. NRO has a Big Bird. Big Bird 9 offline. There's a Big Bird. That's what it looks like, guys. Looks like a bus. Here's the show that we did, but we're censored. It's not there anymore because YouTube. Let's go see. Let's go watch our show. Oh, look, there it is.
Oh.
Not censored. You're not censored, Shady.
No.
What if NROC equals corn? National Reconnaissance Operations Center. Space is critical to our national security. The commercialization of space harvesting technologies that were formerly exclusively used by the government. Look at that. 93 dark.
And that was like correlated with the amount of time 8kun was off and our channel was restricted.
Censored.
Restricted.
Well, we took it. We did it on there. So corn ready for to be cut, right? Corn ready for to be cut. All your bases are belong to us. New director of NRO. And while I'm doing this dig, isn't that wild that happened? I'm doing a dig on the NRO. Wow.
And it happened in real time.
Yep. The shuttle program in 2011 terminated by Obama Hussein. U.S. loses space dominance. Iran nuke deal. NK nuke missile tech. Thank you, Elon Musk. SpaceX, NASA Tech 2, HRC SAPs. Uh-oh, shit. I need to go. I can't
click anything.
Left eye marker symbolism, stupid justice. And he talks about it here. Could the declass of the NRO be dark to light? Out of the black. Declassification of the NRO. Q29. This was amazing, guys. You know where this is? Doesn't that look like the NRO symbol, guys? Doesn't that look like this?
It does.
That's North Korea.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's North Korea. North Korea. Very interesting, too, because some things must remain classified. And North Korea is not being run by Kim. He's an actor. Who is the director? The truth would sound so outrageous. Almost most Americans would riot, revolt, reject. The pedo networks are being dismantled. The child abduction for satanic rituals in Haiti and other third world countries are paused. We pray every single day for God's guidance and direction as we are truly up against evil. But it was funny, like, you know, this is also, look at this. Look at that.
Same.
North Korea.
Same.
That's North Korea.
Yep.
Wow, you think it's a shithole, but look at this. So also, remember Speed? This city was made very quickly, guys. It's called Flying Gang Speed.
Shops and restaurants on the bank of the Taedong River. This is the North Korea of the 21st century, and it's changing.
This is called Mirai Street, which means, I think, Future Scientist Street. And it's one of the sort of miracles of the DPRK, because this street, which contains these amazing blocks, was all built in a year. And it takes me about a year to get the bedroom painted, let alone build an entire modern city street.
Look at that.
But even just to build this stuff that quickly shows ambition and a kind of sense of national commitment to make.
So I'm just watching this on TV and I see this while I'm doing this thread, Shady.
No.
Remember, I'm like, Shady.
I'm sitting here just remembering the way it all came together. And that's why I was so like irritated a few minutes ago. I'm like, my God, you know, it's like that all happened to us in real time.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
Like a modern city.
Since becoming leader, Kim Jong-un has promised to revitalize the economy of the DPRK. Many people say that free market forces are slowly taking hold as the old ideals of communism slip away. Maybe in 5 years' time, this street will be full of McDonald's and adverts for iPhones. If so, I'm glad to have seen it before it becomes like everywhere else.
Wow. What memories. Wow. All right. And then Speed. Okay. Flying Gang Speed. It came like it was first used in 1958 to commemorate the speedy reconstruction of the Capitol. Here are the Q posts with Speed. Very interesting. Okay. NRO. There's the Honorable Dr. Chris Scalise being sworn in. NRO retweeted this, confirming the DNI has control of them. Yikes.
Yeah, yikes is right.
Listen to this. Has the president taken over the NRO? Space Command has been dismantled for 17 years, and it's back, guys. That's the announcement there. How many years? 17. And look at the patch. Nice patch, right? Better than that. All right, and then there's dark to light. Dark to light with the white flag. Wow, guys. I'm telling you, this was, thank you. DQ sent the link that got me to the bottom of this Shady Groove, but this is a great thread. And then here's the Patriot Soapbox, Shady.
Uh-huh. And that's also P-Team.
So VPU-2 is a spy plane in the Navy. Wow.
A lot of Navy connections with all of these patches, and also Navy connections with the story we talked about right before with Admiral Rogers.
Yeah. Does Dorian have anything to do with the NRO? Codename Dorian. These were like the space suits, I believe, Shady Groove. Signet, right? Electronic intelligence. Very interesting, man. There's Dorian. Look at Dorian. 166 miles an hour. Interesting, man. I tell you, glad I found this thread. I guess I was going to go through it a little bit better, but let me look at. We should not nuke hurricanes, right? And we think that there was. Remember when the president held this up?
Yep,
that's Alabama. Is that where Huntsville is around in here?
Think Huntsville.
Where's Huntsville, Alabama, guys?
I think it's north of there.
Okay,
middle of the state.
But we saw the microwave come touch it
and hold it off.
Yep. There's the video again. Let me go to the bottom. NROC Corn, 9/11. See, note, military intelligence has had same SAPs and CIA as designated post 9/11. NROC Corn. Corn was basically created in response to the 9/11 attacks. Wow. Firewall removed. Okay. And let me get back down. Yeah, Comey. Look at this, man. Okay, so this is where you bookmark it right here.
Yep.
Bookmark, add to folder, threads. Okay, save to threads. And I think we're out of time.
Wow. Thank you so much for finding that, because that really, we'd really appreciate being able to display that as we were talking about it to the audience today, to show you the significance of not only what it is that we're talking about, but the significance of the idea that nobody wants us to go back and talk about this stuff. You really mean to tell me that somebody thinks it's important enough to go back and break up these threads of these research that we've done and that it's been there for 6 years, but all of a sudden we go back and it's not there? This is very, very concerning about the future of what we're going to, where we're going to be. Twitter is getting worse. Let's put it that way.
No, you're right. North Alabama centered above Birmingham. Thank you, God Love Truth. Appreciate you. But wow, we're exposing it all, guys. Exposing it all.
Day, man. I mean, look at how much of it's coming together that we've talked about, and there's a couple things we didn't even get to that are cooking on the side burner.
Let it cook, Shady Groove, and we'll be back tomorrow. God bless you all. Thank you very much, Shady Yeti. Thank you, all of the donations. Let me just double check Rumble Studio real quick, Shady.
All right, man.
Let's see if I got another one here. I do. All right, let me grab this one before we go, because it's very important to me and you. The countdown is over. The rivalries are real, and the road to the championship begins on August 23rd. Westwood One Sports brings you every electrifying moment of the NCAA football, from the first snap to the final whistle. Top teams, big plays, unforgettable Saturdays. Do not miss a single second of the action. Listen to the NCAA football on rumble.com, the Westwood One Sports app, on westwoodonesports.com, via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One. If it's sports, it's on Westwood One. Boom. See you guys tomorrow.
Much love.
What truly matters is not which party controls our government, but whether our government is controlled by the people. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government, while the people have borne the cost. The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country. That all changes starting right here and right now.
One thing, I don't know why, it doesn't even matter how hard you strive. Keep that in mind every time this rhyme to explain it through time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on, but you didn't even know. What is it?
Don't forget to like this video. God bless you all. Where we go one, we go all. www.mg.show. Boom.